Okay, guys. First off, I know where's my Die Ranger review, but there's a reason for it. Uh, it's not because school started. That's actually not a reason this time. It's just that this will make more sense when I get into the review. It was the second Sentai I'd watched. No, third Sentai I'd watched from beginning to end, and I kind of don't remember much of it. And there's a reason for that, but it'll spoil the review, so I'll wait until then to do it. I should have it up sometime next weekend, I'm hoping. I'm having to read plot synopsises and stuff like that. I'm not rewatching the season. I don't want to rewatch that season again. But this is mostly for MegaForce, and the first episode of it aired yesterday. Power Rangers MegaForce, for those of you who haven't really paying attention, is the 20th anniversary season for Power Rangers, and it's the Power Rangers adaptation of Go-Sager. I haven't watched Go-Sager yet. I've seen the first episode, and it was kind of boring, and it didn't really impress me that much. So, I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I might, just to say I've seen it. But Go-Sager is going to be a bit different. MegaForce is going to be a bit different than Go-Sager. Go-Sager was about 50 some odd episodes long, as every other Sentai season. But MegaForce is going to be done weirdly. It's going to be like 21, 24 episodes, season 1. That's basically going to cover the Go-Sager sections, I believe. And they're going to put like Go-Sager and jam it into 24 episodes, which I guess works, but I don't know, they might change things up because they're not angels, they're high school students, and I'll get into that when I start talking about the actual episode. And then season 2 is supposed to be taking on the Gokaiger aspect, and Gokaiger is the 35th anniversary Sentai season, and it was this season where they used Ranger keys, one key representing a Ranger throughout past, and they use the key and turn into that Ranger. And they're going to be using this gimmick for season 2 of MegaForce, but they're going to keep the Go-Sager suits, which has a lot of people upset. I personally don't really care. I do like the Gokaiger suits a lot more than the Go-Sager uniforms. I don't really like the Go-Sager uniforms that much. But why not? It's a different way of doing it. Now, they did confirm that we are going to get the Ranger keys that were used in Gokaiger. I think they have modified them, because in the first episode they showed the Time Force keys, and the Time Force yellow had the black line indicating it has a skirt, which means that they have moderned them up for Power Rangers, because Time Yellow in Time Ranger was a guy. So the fact that they did that is cool. Sad thing is, though, I did not see a Titanium Ranger key in the Lightspeed Rescue group, but I don't think they showed the entire Lightspeed Rescue line. They just showed, like, green, yellow, and red. So, I hope they make a Titanium Ranger key, though. That'd be stupid if they completely forget him. When he was the first American-made Ranger, they need to bring him in. So, I was actually very, very, very impressed with the first episode of MegaForce, due to a few pretty obvious reasons if you watched it. It basically starts off with aliens coming in, saying, okay, let's take over this planet. Yay, typical evil alien stuff. And this being wakes up and tells this robot to find 5 humans that, how did he say it? Exemplify the human spirit. And the robot was like, oh no, you don't mean? He was like, yeah, teenagers. And then the minute that happened, I was like, this is starting to remind me of Mighty Morphin for pretty obvious reasons. A head thing talking in a low voice, talking to a robot that seems scared, asking for 5 teenagers. There's a reason for that, actually. So then we're sent into the school. The episode itself actually starts off with MegaForce Red having a dream about the Great Hero War. And yes, we are getting a Great Hero War for Power Rangers. But people have been up in arms about the clip that was used because it was taken directly from the Sentai one that was used. But here's the thing. There was a deal between Saban and Toei about a while ago. I think it was during when Gokaiger was airing over in Japan. It was basically, we want our own Hero War for Power Rangers. And we want Toei to film a Great Hero War with only the Rangers that we got here in America. Toei was like, okay, but only if you do something for us, Saban. So they wrote and produced Go Busters, which is the season that is currently airing and has 2 episodes before it ends. And I haven't watched a single episode of it yet. I'll probably get around to that sooner or later. So that was the deal. That's why Go Busters has the term, it's morphing time and stuff in it. It's because Saban has a hand in that season. And in turn, Toei would refilm a Power Rangers exclusive Great Hero War. The reason why they used the Sentai footage mostly is because I don't think it's done yet. There were a few original scenes in there, like showing the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers jump out of a fire. That was not in the Japanese version. And they showed a few scenes with Samurai Red and Mystic Force Red standing next to each other. That wasn't in the Japanese version. So there are some scenes that are filmed and they put in, but for the most part, it was reused from the Sentai War. And there were some non-Power Rangers in the scene that they showed, although they tried to digitally remove all of the ones that we never got, and they didn't. The first episode, though, they did have a lot of weird, bad edits, and I'll talk about that when I get into it. So, he has a dream about the war. He wakes up going. Apparently he's new. We're introduced to all 5 of them. They're all in the same class. I don't remember their names. I'm not going to pull up a wiki thing for it, so I'm just going to call them by their ranger name. So, when MegaForce Yellow goes to the bar, Black and Blue follow her, and they get transported away along with the others. They get transported to this lair, and they wake up in a base that has the ranger keys of all the previous rangers lined up along the wall. And Megaforce Red looks at the Time Ranger Red key, and he was like, these guys look familiar. I've seen them before. And all of a sudden, a being pops up on the wall, and it's basically the face of their morphers. They're called Tensoders in Ghost Sager, I think is what they're called. I don't know. But he looks like a T-head. And I think someone even addressed that. He looks like something from a Hawaiian shirt. He really does, now that I think about it. But he's sitting there on the wall. It looks like a really, really cheap plastic inflatable thing that he just jammed on the wall. He said his name was Gosei. And this was the kicker, too. When I was watching this episode, he was like, my name is Gosei. My mentor Zordon put me here in case I was needed to protect the Earth. And when he said my mentor Zordon, I was like, that explains why this is so similar to Zordon and Alpha. I don't remember the name of the little robot that Gosei has, but I'm actually really, really excited at this point when he says that, because I was like, he had a apprentice? Since when did Zordon have an apprentice? But he's setting things up very, very, very similar to how Zordon did with the original Mighty Morphin group. And I'm actually really, really happy they did this. He goes into detail explaining, why they were chosen, just like Zordon did. And then he says, oh, these lining the walls of this place are the Rangers that came before you, your predecessors. And then sends them into battle, gives them the morphers. Funny thing is, though, he doesn't tell them... Oh, no, he does explain the key. He does explain the cards. Then they bring out their cards, which... Funny thing is, when the cards like flash and appear, they have the Gosager names on them, like Gosei Red, Gosei Blue, Gosei Black. That was weird because they are releasing actual cards for MegaForce, and they say MegaForce Red, MegaForce Blue. and they're making a card for every Ranger. So I think the first pack set came out, and it has Samurai, MegaForce, RPM, and Mighty Morphin cards in it. I'm gonna have to get them. I want to collect the Mighty Morphin cards, and maybe the RPM and Samurai ones, just because I like Goandra and Shinkenger so much. But it's weird because they say Gosei Red on them. They didn't even bother to edit that, and it wasn't footage that was taken from the Sentai either. They had the guy's face holding up the card next to his face, so it's like they used the Goseiger cards, which was really awkward, but at the same time it's not gonna bug me because it's nice to see some Sentai things put into the season. But what made it cool is that when they brought out the morphers, he was like, "It's morphing time." More MMPR stuff. I'm loving this. I really am. I'm a guy who's really excited to see references to previous seasons. I really love that kind of stuff. And they use them, and the morphing sequence itself is actually really cool looking. It's basic, but at the same time it's pretty flashy. My favorite morphing sequence still being Lightspeed Rescues, and a lot of people wonder why I say that, but I have my reasons. I really like Lightspeed Rescue. It does a lot of things right for me. So they end up fighting, and seeing how I've seen the first episode of Goseiger, I can tell what was original footage and what wasn't. But most of it was original footage. Well, no. A good chunk of it was, but it was a pretty good balance of MegaForce Goseiger footage. The fight scene was actually really well done, but the monster kind of came in late, got blown up. We didn't see any of the mechas or Zords. We'll probably get those next episode, because they didn't show up until episode 2 of Goseiger also. And then they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. Woo. But like I said, I was really impressed, honestly. The fact that there's so many references to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it almost felt like they were trying to remake the first episode of Mighty Morphin a little bit. And I'm actually glad. It is the 20th anniversary season for that matter. So what better way to start off a 20th episode season than to basically, I won't say copy and paste, but try to remake the Mighty Morphin episode Day at the Dumpster as closely as they can. And it worked, and they actually had a good reason for it, because Gosei is Zordon's apprentice. So he actually followed from his mentor's ways of doing things, and I actually really liked it. So the first episode really left a good impression, unlike Goseiger's first episode, which made me wondering, why did I watch this? Goseiger's episode was boring. Even though the villain had more screen time in that episode, just the characters were boring. I think it might be because of all the MMPR references, but I don't know. MegaForce left a really good first impression, and I might sit down and watch this. I haven't sat down and watched the Power Rangers season when it aired since Time Force. That was the last season I had actually sat down and watched when it was on TV. I haven't seen Wild Force through Samurai. I haven't. I know that's a lot of seasons I've missed. And I have seen bits and pieces of those seasons throughout. I've seen some Overdrive episodes, which I really regret doing. I want to watch RPM, Dino Thunder, and SPD just because I heard they were the best of the Disney seasons. But I didn't watch Samurai because, I don't know, it was a weird place for me. I kind of jumped in. I kind of got back into my Power Rangers plus Sentai craze during the middle of the season, so I kind of skipped it. Plus, I heard a lot of bad things about it. But MegaForce, I'm going to sit down and watch it. Especially when it gets to season 2, when it becomes like the tribute season, where they bring back old members, old Rangers from all the seasons, and do tribute episodes like Gokaiser did. And that's what I'm really excited for. The theme song, though, is basically a remix of a remix. They took the Samurai theme, which was a remix of the Mighty Morphin theme, and MegaForced it. They changed the lyrics to make it fit MegaForce, and went with it from there. I'm okay with it. I mean, there's a lot of people saying, I want something original. What they should have done is they should have given Samurai its own theme and then left the Mighty Morphin remix to MegaForce, which is what they should have done. But I love the MMPR theme too much, and I love hearing remixes, and I love hearing it used. And to an extent, it made me wish that they had done that for every season, because they did it with Zeo, and it worked perfectly. What they should have done is they should have had an MMPR remix for every season and just change the lyrics and adapt it, maybe add some musical changes to it to fit the season. It would have been a cool tradition. Keep the theme, but adapt it to the season. I don't care if... crap, I forgot the name of the guy who did the original MMPR theme already. Wasserman. Yeah. I don't care if it wasn't him that did them. They needed to do that. It would have been a cool tradition. May have gotten repetitive after a while, but like I said, I love that theme too much to give a crap. So, acting-wise, they weren't too bad. They were better than Samurai's, I'll say that now. But, I liked it. I really did. I think Nick.com put the first episode up on their website, so if you want to go watch it there. If not, I have a link to a video someone put it up on YouTube, like in a private thing, so only you can get to it via link, so I'll post that in the description if you want to go watch it. I'd recommend giving it a shot just to see what you think, especially if you have emotional ties to Mighty Morphin like I do. You'll really appreciate how they did this episode. So yeah, I'm going to be watching it. I might have an impressions of Season 1 when Season 1 ends, hoping it's good. I'm really good. I mean, first impressions are great. I've got high expectations for the season now. So yeah, I'm not going to do an episode by episode synopsis because that seems like a waste of time. So, there's my thoughts on MegaForce. If you have any questions or anything you want to ask or say or whatever, go ahead, go for it. My Die Ranger review will be up next weekend, I promise. I will finish reading up on it over the week. I might have it up on Friday if I put in enough time reading up on it. And then hopefully Go Andra, Shinkenger, and Go Kaiser will be up sooner than later. And then I need to finish up watching Deca Ranger because I haven't finished it yet. Oh well. That was that. That was a lot longer than it should have been. 17 minutes. Gee whiz. I ramble too much. I admit it. I'm sorry. Super Bowl time. Yay.